right, before I get started, guys, let me tweak this picture right quick. No, I'm just kidding, but thank you all for being here. Really, certainly an honor for us to have you guys here. When I came to Knoxville, I didn't understand the magnitude from the media, the press, but you guys do a tremendous job in covering our sport, and we really appreciate that. But as far as our guys are concerned, I like where we're headed as a program. I like what our guys are doing. And from a physical standpoint, I give a lot of credit to Nicodemus Christopher, who's done a tremendous job with our guys in their physical development, the athleticism and the quickness of guys. And Justin, Yemi, Mack, and Julian, and Jarnell, those guys are really exploding. Jarnell's quicker. He made 2 great moves yesterday off the dribble, moves he didn't make a year ago, but big-time moves. And that's just a credit to Nicodemus and Jarnell working together. Explosiveness, his quickness. I mean, Yemi's a guy that's dunking the ball left and right hand easy. So excited about that part. Trey Golden is explosive. He's quick. He's attacking the rim. He's probably playing his best basketball. I think he and Kenny Hall shooting a 3-point shot, shooting it well, playing with confidence. So these guys have made some great strides throughout the summer. I thought Josh Richardson had a tremendous practice yesterday, the way they exploded, how more importantly, how he led the team that he was playing with, and just directed traffic on both ends of the floor. So we're excited where these guys are. Have a really good schedule. Again, some very talented teams. The Puerto Rico tournament will be a great tournament. NC State, I think, will be a top 10 team. Oklahoma State is a top 30, 35 team. A team that you can't overlook. Akron is a very talented team. Returned 4 starters. So that'll be a tough test. I think they beat Mississippi State last year in the preseason, if I'm not mistaken. So then you got at Georgetown, you got at Virginia, 2 talented programs. Wichita State, Xavier, teams that come here, and from a mid-major standpoint, I hate to call it mid-major, but those are talented programs and what they bring to the table and success that they've had over the years. So then you got Memphis coming, I think, January the 4th. So another great preseason schedule and heading to the SEC, which I think it'll be as tough as it's ever been with the talent, with the addition of Missouri and Texas A&M, 2 talented programs. So it'll be fun, folks. Any questions?
You guys on Selection Sunday last year talked about how the standard was always going to be making the state tournament. I mean, you had to, I don't imagine you probably had to remind you guys that that's the goal for this year.
Well, I think as a coach, you always have to do your part in reminding them, as long as you say it and they understand it. But with most ball players and competitive basketball players, they understand the task at hand. They know what they have to do. And by the looks of things, with workouts, they put the work in and the time into it. But there's still plenty of work to be done. And I think the biggest key for us is playing together, staying healthy, and being as one unit. I think we'll be fine.
You manage the team differently at all, and you notice the difference in the expectations this year than last year. You guys are just nothing like anybody who finished second in the league. Now you pop it up a lot of preseason top 5. Does that change?
Well, for me, my approach never changed in regards to personnel. I think for me, it changes because you're dealing with individual players, different dynamics of guys, how they grew up, their backgrounds, how you recruited them. So that part changes, but that's individual when I'm around those guys. But my approach as a coach, it never changes. If you have open shot, shoot it. If you're a score the ball. If you rebound. Do what you do on the floor, but we all have to defend at a high level and play as hard as we can play and be a team. And that's the most important thing. But my approach on the court and what I do as far as basketball never changes. But off the court, it's different for every guy. You treat every guy differently.
Coach, you have some really good players under the basket this year with stuff and what do you expect under the basket this year? Do you expect a lot of physical play back there? You're going to try to get them bumping into guys and not get them shots down low or just small?
Well, I think physical will always be a blueprint. I think you have to play physical without fouling. You have to play as hard as you can play. And I think Kenny Hall, with the addition of probably 10-plus pounds on his body, he's getting hits in practice. He's finishing those baskets, and his game just really improved. But I think with all 3 of those guys, because they have the ability to score baskets and be physical, Yemi's a guy that can score in certain ways, but he's a defender first and a rebounder. So I think you got 4 physical guys that can play basketball, not just bodies, but they know how to play the game. And I think that really helps from that standpoint. But I expect those guys to score. In order for us to have a high level of success as a team, those guys have to touch the ball pretty much every time down in some way, shape, or form. I think we have guys that can do that, but I think the biggest key is not over dribbling. We talk about making 3 dribbles, and you're either at the rim or you're making a play. I don't think at this level you have the luxury of dribbling 7, 8 times and making a move. It's 3 dribbles, you're at the rim, there's a play that's being made. But I think we have 3 guys that can go off the bounce, and I don't include Jarnell and Jerron there because they can do it for their side with the guys that are guarding them. They can do it, but I think we have 3 guys on the perimeter that can make plays. You know, my job as a coach is to put them in position where they're not over dribbling and they're making plays. But I think the biggest thing for us is being able to make perimeter shots more than anything. Well, I think they did because anytime you get a chance to, go up against or kind of gauge yourself against other guys in other major programs and get a feel for what they do, how they go about it, talking to those guys. Some guys might get up 1,000 shots a day where you might have been getting up 200 or 300. So now it takes you to another level. Or certain ways they lift weights, or how they go about it, how they approach the game, who they working out with. Some guys go to pro camps and work in pro leagues and work with other pro guys. Some guys work with personal guys that do different things. So just more than anything, you get a chance to go up against guys, but also get a feel for what they do and how they go about it. Well, I think for me as a coach, I don't stand here as going into my 5th year as a head coach. I wouldn't say this is who I am. I think 15, 20 years down the road, this is who I am. I can say that. But I think you're constantly growing as a coach. I think for me, we'll always defend. I say defending a lot, but I like to score 100 points if we can. I like to score the ball. I like to put our guys in position to score and shoot the ball. I'm not a guy that wants to pass the ball 5, 6, 7 times. We don't have to. You get one pass, you got a shot, shoot the ball. Because sometimes the first shot is the best shot because the other guys on the team expect you to shoot the ball. But I think really we're always looking for different things. The best ways for our guys to be successful. Is there a different defense out there that fits this personnel? Is there a different type of offense to put our guys in the best position? So you're always looking for that. But I think the core of our program, that'll never change. Playing as hard as you can play, being as tough as you can be, trying to go to class every day, working as hard as you can work. Those things will never change, regardless of the personnel. Well, I feel good about it because you know your guys, and as a coaching staff, it's our job to put them in position so they can be successful offensively. I think with our principles on defense, you have a chance to be successful and get stops and be in basketball games and winning games. But it's just one of those deals, like Trey Golden, for example. He's the guy that has to lead us offensively. Even though that ball needs to go inside, we need Trey Golden to score the ball. He's a scoring point guard, and we need him to score the ball. And with his ability to score, other things happen because people have to identify with him on the floor. So whenever Trey's playing well, we're playing well as a team, in my opinion.
Kind of going off of what you're talking about with Trey. Last year you say it was a scoring point guard. Sometimes you want that point guard to lead the offense a little bit more, kind of step back and let him take his shot. Do you expect him to be more of a leader on the court rather than driving in like he did last year, or do you expect him to maybe try to score on?
I want him to do everything he did offensively, but a little bit better. Shoot the ball at a high level, get to the rim a little more, get to the free throw line a little more. I think the biggest key for him is defending, taking pride more than anything in defending and being a shutdown guard. But offensively, I want him to continue doing what he's doing.
It's been the time together as a team in Italy, the chemistry, the bonding, and that sort of thing. Did we affect our position? How do you expect that to happen?
Well, I think one of the things that we do as a staff, and I think we do a good job of, and I have to give my assistant coaches a lot of credit for this, is bringing our guys together. And we like to consider ourselves a family, and we take a lot of pride in our guys being together as much as possible, not putting yourself in vulnerable situations, not compromising your character, your integrity, and what you believe. So the Italy trip didn't do that for us. I think that was already established. I think, because it was established, you're able to take an Italy trip as a head coach and feel at peace when you go into a different country and allow your guys not to have a curfew and understand that they'll be in time, be in the hotel at the right time and not get in any trouble. But I think before we took that trip, that had to be established for me in order for us to take that trip.
What is Armando bring to the table, and what does he bring to suggest he might be able to help that point guard?
Well, I think, you're talking about a guy that's, probably 6'5" as a combo guard, can really play the point, can really distribute the ball. But he's similar to Trey from the standpoint. He's not a traditional point guard that comes down and pass for. He's a guy that can score, put pressure on the defense, so has a lot of flair to his game, knows how to make passes, does a good job of reading the defense, can get to the rim, uses his body well, can find guys, and he can also make shots. I think with him, he continues to grow and continue to get better. He's going to have a very successful career because you're talking about a guy right now as a freshman, 210 pounds right now.
What do you see from DeMontre in terms of
Well, right now, I see him as defensively defending right now, rebounding. Boy, rebounding really well in Italy. He gets some big rebounds in practice. He goes and get offensive rebounds, and he boxes out and get big defensive rebounds as well. He goes in there with the big guys and get them. So I definitely see him on the floor from that standpoint. Offensive, I just think right now he's just trying to find his way and get a feel for the level we want to play and the things we're trying to do offensively. But right now, his pull-up game is probably the best part of his offense, and posting up. On our team, we only have one true point guard, and that's Trey Golden, in my opinion. But I think a lot is to be made about who's a point, traditional point, that sort of thing. The key for me is being able to handle the ball and not turn it over. That's the most important thing, to handle the ball and not turn it over. And I think we had too many turnovers as a team last year, just unacceptable at this level. So the biggest key is taking care of the basketball. But right now Trey is the true, and I would say Omani is the guy that fighting for those minutes. I like to keep Josh at the wing. He's gotten a lot better, but I like to keep him at the wing where he's defending, he's slashing, he's making plays. Because sometimes you can put too much on a guy and lose his focus, and now all of a sudden he's not the guy that he was because he has too much on his plate. Well, I think they're a lot better, but the thing about a motion offense is it's elevated since I played. When I played, it was all screening, different type of screens, down screens, back screens, flash screens, cross screens. Now the ball screen is incorporated, so it's probably not as many various screens this way as opposed to ball screen sets. And I think for us, the ball screens are good because if you look at the ball screens, there's probably 9 different ways you can set a ball screen. And that's a hard thing to defend, where if you set a down screen, it's 2 ways you probably can defend it. So percentages say we're probably better off setting ball screens to make that team defend this different type of ball screens.
On the return out over there, is there an area or two in the offseason you guys kind of target, really try to focus on?
Jornell?
Yeah.
I think his explosiveness, his quickness. But with that being said, you're talking about a guy that came in right from high school. So he didn't have the summertime and the fall to really get acclimated to what we were trying to do. So everything was on the fly. So now all of a sudden we get the spring and the summer to work with him. The biggest keys for us is improving his perimeter shot. We're giving him confidence in it because he has a decent shot, but giving him the confidence to shoot and feel good about it. Improving his back to the basket post-up game, because he's really a guy that would rather face up and make plays, and he's good at that. But improving his back to the basket, his perimeter shot, but also improving his lateral quickness and his explosiveness so he can defend at a high level. Yeah, I did. That's a tough thing to do. I don't think I could have done it at the level he did it at. But I think the thing that helped him, he has a good mind for the game. But he's also, 265, 270 pounds. He was physical enough, and he had good skills. And I think that's why he was able to get away with it. He had some struggles, but because he was physical enough, he'd get a big rebound, make a big play. We saw the potential in him. Now I think you'll get a chance to see the guy that he really is. I think so, because we'll pound the ball, and he has no choice, and we'll give him the ball. But also the guys just feel good being around him. When he came in, he's one of those guys that more than anything, he wanted to fit in with his team. So he was accepting his role, whatever that role was, to win games. But also, he had a target on his back coming in. I mean, the first time we played Kentucky, he played well. The second time, those guys were keying on him. So it was just one of those deals. He was learning on the fly to various defenses, and our guys were still playing the games. We didn't have time to slow down to make sure he got acclimated. Our individual guys were playing games, so he was playing catch up, and I thought he did a good job with that. Shooters, I hope so. We done shot a lot of balls, so now we got to put them in. But I think the guys have done a good job of putting hours and hours in since last spring of shooting the basketball. But now it's just a matter of shooting with confidence and making sure they fall. He's done a really good job shooting his free throws. He's better at spotting up shooting as opposed to shooting on the move. But his shot is really improving. You can see with his free throws, he's a guy now who can make 10 or 15 free throws in a row. But he shoots a lot of them, and his perimeter shot is on the corners is probably better than up top. But he's knocking that shot down. But now once again, it's a matter of translating that into game situations. Because he knows where his bread and butter is. He plays around the rim, he attacks the rim, he rebounds the ball. But I want him to have the confidence to shoot that ball.
Last year, you don't want to use the word inconsistent, but last year there was some losses that you really don't want to have. With like Austin, and there was other teams that you could take and recall that matchup. Do you expect more consistency from this year's team, or do you expect the same team to go on quarter and not?
I mean, you have ups and downs. That's a hard thing to answer. And I think there's a different team with the addition of Jarnell Stokes. I think before Jarnell Stokes, you had a team that was unproven. I don't think it was a team that played well together. You know, guys I think were playing for themselves, so to speak. And I don't say that in a bad way, but just trying to hit the spotlight, the lights on them, man. I got a chance to shine, but in the result, you're losing games because you don't understand how hard you have to play and what you have to do and what you have to sacrifice in order to be successful. But I think they grew as a team as the season went on. But then also you have an elite player in Jarnell Stokes. I mean, in order to compete at this level, you need 2 or 3 guys like that on your roster in order to win big games. But with the addition of that, it really helped our team. But I think there's really 2 different answers, 2 different teams from the time we played Austin Peay until the time we finished the season. But I mean, even when you're at your best, you have ups and downs. It's hard to say. I mean, some nights it's just the shot isn't falling. You got to defend and win games. Some night the other team is scoring baskets, you got to outscore them. So, and I think that's the sign of a really good team. You got to find ways to win ball games. Thank you.